Good evening. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 4th, 2026 school committee meeting here in the Tyngsborough Middle School. My name is Ryan McMahon. I call this meeting to order. Reminder, these meetings are audio and video recorded. I will start with introductions to my left.
Good afternoon. Dan Hogan, School Business Administrator.
Good evening, Sarah Lewenzik, Sarah Lewenzik, Assistant Superintendent.
We're new. Mike Woodlock, Superintendent.
Becky Stanton.
Bert Bushman.
Stacy Gatto.
Danielle Athanas.
Anthony Tenorella.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will seek a motion to approve the June 23rd, 2026 school committee minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries 6-0. Citizen time. Would you like to say
Mind
something?
sharing your
Can you just give us 1 second to get a mic over there, please? Yeah, have a seat. No, that's fine. Just, so the way citizen time works is you say your name, your address, you have 3 minutes to speak. We don't generally have a conversation or, we can answer a question maybe, but it's your turn to make a statement to us.
Okay.
All right? Floor is yours.
My name is Wesley Riles, 40 Groton Road. So I'm going into my junior year of high school, and I'm working on my civics action project right now, focused on extending the current 25-minute lunch period to 40 minutes. The problem I see is that students aren't receiving enough calorie intake during their lunch period. I have an objective of going into line at the beginning of the year and then bringing my own lunch mid to end of the year, and notice that I lost about 10 minutes on average in line, leaving me with only 15 minutes to eat. I personally do not like to talk during lunch, so I got that full 15 minutes, but I know a lot of students do like to talk, so they get less than that. I also noticed that students tend to leave lunch a little early to prepare for class, so they have maybe 10 to 13 minutes to eat their lunch. If we extended by 15 minutes, I think we should also extend the school day by 15 minutes, leaving at 2:10 instead of 1:55, just to avoid loss of class time. Also, students who are enrolled in athletics need their calorie intake. Currently, I'm enrolled in wrestling. Sometimes you don't eat to cut weight. I don't usually do that, so I'm eating a lot more to gain weight. And I find that I'm a little less energetic when I don't eat and a little dizzy. That's all I have.
Thank you for coming out. It takes a lot to come up here and speak to us, so it can be intimidating. You did very, very well. I'm sure if you have some specific questions, we can talk to you offline.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you for
coming.
Correspondence. Mr. Woodlock.
None at this time.
Personnel.
That's me. So a few notifications here. Notifications of resignation. Michaela Mertzmer, TES school psychologist. She was with us for 3 years. Jaden Valkovich, TMS paraprofessional for 1 year. So thank both of them for their service to our schools and our students. And notifications of new hires. We have Carolyn Enright, TES paraprofessional. David Gallio-Talanza, TMS second shift custodian. Elizabeth Scarpito, TES Bridges teacher. Hallie Warnock, TMS paraprofessional, and Kaylee Whirl, TES paraprofessional. So welcome to Tyngsborough Public Schools. That's it.
Thank you. Share the success. There's none at this time. Subcommittee updates. The superintendent evaluation subcommittee will be meeting tonight after this meeting. Capital asset meeting will be tomorrow, 8/5/26. Unfinished business. Superintendent update, Mr. Woodlock.
Yeah, so this one's me. So I wanted to just give you a little preview of some of the things that I'm working on in my first year as a superintendent. So I've enrolled in a new superintendent's induction program. This is something that almost every new superintendent engages in. This is the 17th cohort, and it's run by the Massachusetts Superintendents Association. So it's pretty intensive, and it's very supportive. There's a link there if you want more information on what it entails and what the commitment on my part is. But essentially, some of the Cliff Notes version here, it's a 3-year program. And throughout those 3 years, there are monthly content sessions. For instance, so I've already participated in one in July at the superintendent's conference. It was a full day. Participated in a half-day online meeting today. And then there'll be a full day in-person meeting in September, and that's kind of how it goes throughout the year. There's over 30 new superintendents in the state of Massachusetts this year, so it's quite a large cohort, which is good for me because there's a lot of people to share concerns, generate ideas with. In these positions, we're singular, so we don't have those other people, so these groups are really important for us to get information and share ideas. In addition to the monthly content sessions, I also will have a coach, and I'm going to ask my coach to come to one of our meetings, probably the first one in September. Her name is Karen Krevis. She retired last year. She was the Massachusetts Superintendent of the Year. She was in Hopedale, which is a small district. It's actually smaller than us, so it's like us, but it's not exactly like us. But even in the month or so that we've been working and talking regularly, she's been incredibly helpful. And of course I have Dr. Flanagan to lean on as well. So I feel like I'm really supported in this process. So some of the things that I'll be talking about a lot this year is part of the program. So I hope you're okay with it because it is an expectation on my part to share with you regularly in school committee meetings. And in year one, I'm expected to create and share an entry plan. This is maybe more important if I was brand new to the district, which I'm not, yet I think there's a lot of value in kind of looking at things with a different lens, and that's my intent to do that. So I have created an entry plan, at least a draft, right here, and my intent is to share, again, the basics with you. I'll give you the whole thing, but I'll share the basics at the committee meeting in 2 weeks. So we met today. Everyone feels comfortable with this one. We've gone over it with a lot of people, so that's the plan. That's a lot of research, a lot of talking with a lot of different people. I'll definitely want to get some one-to-one conversations with you all, as well as a lot of other people in our school community, in our community in general. When I do that, I will be looking for specific things, and it's not only my surveying of people in one-to-one conversations, but looking at a lot of documentation that we have to collect data. And that's not just typical data like MCAS data or SAT data, that will be included, but quite a bit more. And that's all included in the entry plan, which will be available to you within the next couple of weeks. The first half of my first year will really be about data collection. The second half will be to analyze the data and report the findings out by June. So that'll all be part of that process. So I said, it might be more important if I was new here, but I'm not going to go through each bullet on this slide, but this was what is shared to us by the Massachusetts School Superintendents Association, just to say, what is the importance of an entry plan? What are we trying to do there? And so, although some of this, and I did bring this up, I said, I'm going to be talking to people that I've worked with or known for 25 plus years. It seems they might feel like it's a bit contrived for me to just be asking them standard questions off of the sheet. So the good news is there's a lot of leeway in how I can do this, and I don't have to be robotic about it. So I definitely don't want to come off that way in this new role. So, but this is generally what the expectations are and the importance of the entry plan. Again, I won't read it for you, but just giving you a heads up, you'll be hearing quite a bit about the entry plan throughout my first year. Does anyone have any questions?
I remember when Dr. Flanagan did this, and he said it was very beneficial. I remember his mentor coming and speaking with us.
Yeah, so if you've been here long enough, you've seen it before. Hopefully you don't have to see it too many times when you the rest of your time here. But I'll say this too, just not that I need to, pat Dr. Flanagan on the back much more than we have, because it's all deserved. But a lot of the things that he did and has put into place, especially our SDI, as I'm looking at the entry plan, as I'm looking at expectations for the end of year one into year two, the examples that they're putting out there that I've already looked at look very similar to what we already have. So he did a really good job. So he's going to save me a lot of time. I'm really happy about that. But feel free to ask me any questions as we go forward. Again, I'll be excited to have Karen come. She'll definitely want to talk and just introduce herself. Super nice. I know you're going to love her. So with that, I will turn it over to Assistant Superintendent Sarah, right?
It is.
Okay.
For clarifying. So to give you a bit of a summer update, it's been really busy within the 3 buildings, and they all have different needs and a lot of different things going on. So their priority areas are a little bit different, as you can imagine. The high school is our oldest building, so when we're looking at the physical plant and the classrooms and comparing it to the middle school and even our elementary school, there was a lot that we wanted to do to get in there and really start, shaping it up and doing some decluttering, and that's been a real emphasis of, how busy the high school has started. So I'll give you more specific updates there. Across the board, for all of our administrators, they're looking really closely at our policies. They're refining daily routines within all of the schools and then making enhancements to all of the curriculum while updating our key actions within the SDI. So that's ongoing. We're here watching them, and they're sort of plugging back and forth over here to Central as they're really kind of indulged in all of that work. Mike and I have had many opportunities to walk the halls of each of the schools. It's probably the best way in which to kind of not only see the buildings, but really for us to talk and kind of take gauge of where everything really is at this point as we kind of head into the end of the summer. Truly, we continue to be impressed with the momentum of the custodial staff. Mr. King and all of his team have really done a nice job getting our classrooms prepared. There's still a lot of work to do, but they're hitting a tight timeline while doing a variety of projects that the administrative teams have really been looking for as well. So that's been much appreciated. Just kind of going more specifically within the schools, at the high school, Mr. Ogden and his team are actively exploring new real-world opportunities for students, and we don't have details finalized at this point, but we're really excited about what they're coming up with on a creative end and being able to share outright with you more of those updates as we come into the the first few months of school, hopefully, and then carry ourselves through the year and looking at sort of a refinement of a program of studies and opportunities for students. So that's exciting. Additionally, Ms. Colombo is leading the effort to formalize our physical education and wellness curriculum. We really need to ensure a more cohesive and standard-based curriculum, and that's something that we feel confident that she can really do as a lead in that department. And we'll also be really supporting the folks there. So that feels good for that department to really kind of tighten itself up as a whole, but also be looked at across the district versus just specifically within the schools. As far as additional work that she wanted to take on, she'll be really acting as our liaison with the Tyngsborough Fire Department. Over the last year, Tyngsborough Fire's come in and done some nice trainings with all of our students in regard to first aid and CPR. She's going to really be doing more of that work with them and coming up with other collaborative ideas for Tyngsborough Police and Tyngsborough Fire to continue to work with our students, again, more in that sort of real world experience. Finally, on the high school end, they really have worked closely with the custodians, and just taking a walk today, it felt good to see those learning spaces really take on a fresher feel. There's been paint on walls, there's been a lot of decluttering, like I mentioned earlier, and they're even looking at a new graphic as you come into the lobby to welcome everybody back. So, so some really nice things, across the board happening at the high school that just feel overall really good as we, come into mid-August. Over at the middle school, Mr. Maringer and his team have spent significant time really closely looking at the middle school schedule and creating opportunities that can really help to dedicate time and target instruction for enrichment for students, as well as be able to provide extensions for some of our students who need more of a challenge. So there's been some concerted effort on what that can look like, and then sharing that information out with staff as they start to come back at the end of the month for us. They've also done a really deep dive on grade level standards and pacing guides. Just so you kind of know what the pacing guide piece really kind of refers to. That's the document that all teachers are asked to prepare as a framework to really ensure that our instruction is aligning with state standards while making sure that teachers, again, have the framework to adjust their instruction along the way, but also meet students' individual needs. So they've spent a lot of time doing that work, and that's really in preparation for professional development as, you know, we kind of fold into the school year. So that's feeling particularly good at the middle school. At the elementary, there's a lot happening with a new building principal and a new assistant principal. They've done a tremendous amount of work really to ensure that not only the staff and students, but that families are really set up for success. And this year, they'll be rolling out a math curriculum for grades 3 to 5, while also finalizing updates for their standard-based report cards, as well as refreshing a guide to make that more user-friendly for families. So that feels really good in terms of sort of tightening work that they had really put a lot of effort into last year, especially the standards-based report cards, and then there had been a full plan for this math curriculum to come into play. So that will be a concerted effort going into this school year, certainly working with Erica Cooper, one of our amazing coaches in that regard, and all the teachers that will be jumping on board. To support those rollouts and really build team capacity, Ms. Souza came into this school year, you know, really looking at adjustments that she felt strongly were needed with a new team coming on board. So they really want to grow their capacity so that there's more opportunity for all of them as administrators, not only to, you know, sort of work daily operations within the building, but get their feet wet with Power School and transportation and all the other, you know, routines that can happen within the school day, and not have it dedicated to maybe one assistant principal or a special education facilitator. And that feels like it's going to give them more, you know, breadth and ability just to kind of grow as a team. So that's something they're really looking forward to. Additionally, the team is establishing clear school-wide Tier 1 behavior expectations aligned with their Stripes core values. This is going to be a lot of work, and this is one of Ms. Souza's real goals going into the year, and that's to support teachers in the classrooms. We do see behaviors. We do know that can be traumatizing, not only to, you know, the student that's going through it, but the students that are witnessing it. So we want, you know, all of our staff as well as our students to feel as comfortable and safe in classrooms as possible. So this will be a goal that this team continues to work towards. It's not, you know, sort of a check and done easy. This will be something that sustains itself throughout the school year, I would imagine. Finally, they have, you know, done a really nice job of communicating to our families. If you're, you know, an elementary parent, you've already received your July back to school guide, which just gives a great amount of information from who am I touching base with if I need to as a parent, you know, where are my go-tos, where is the tour, how do I get to the orientations, and have done it in a nice way, and which is just extremely user-friendly. They'll be bouncing out another one in August, so they're doing it in a tiered approach really to make it as manageable as possible, I think, for families, as well as, you know, ensuring a smooth transition back for all of our elementary kiddos. So those are the updates at the building-based levels.
People think, you know, the whole school department goes on vacation for the summer, but
Right.
there's a ton of work still going on.
I'm just going to take this information, because when everyone asks, like, well, what do you even do over the summer? Here you go. I'm really, really happy with the amount of work and the dedication that we've seen this summer. Not that we haven't before, but it seems like everyone knows, like, oh, there's a lot of change, and they want to make sure that it's smooth. So, and that's really just talking about the administrators, but if I can just double down on what Mr. King and the custodial and maintenance staff has done. Like, we identified, we were concerned last year, we paid overtime last year because we didn't get things done in time. That's not happening this year. We were very clear up front about that, and that is not happening this year, and they've done wonderful work. So, great job to that whole department.
I just want to say real quickly, if I could, I personally have reasons to come onto campus like 3 mornings a week, and I'm here before 7 a.m. And I have personally seen Mr. King and multiple of his staff members walking to and from these 2 buildings, going into the building to show up for work, doing grounds work, like every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And they're here early working the whole entire summer. So yes, definitely, I can agree with you, and I'm very proud and excited to see them, and clearly they've been busy all summer. So thank you to them.
Thank you.
Welcome.
New business, Mr. Whitlock?
Yeah, so obviously we have a seat that's empty There is a joint school committee and select board meeting scheduled for the 10th of August. So we'll all be expected to be present at that. Paperwork that was shared, you'll be able to see who the applicants are for this position, and so there'll be a vote on that date. So we will be getting a new member soon to fill a vacant seat.
Exciting.
Excellent. Finance, Mr. Hogan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. For signing of bills, I think Mrs. Guido, she came in on July 15th to keep our bills moving and signed off on some warrants. There was 2 warrants for FY26 to help us close out the year. Those warrant numbers, accounts, and amounts are in your drive, as well as some FY27 warrants that are in your drive tonight. So thank you again, Stacy, and thank you for signing the warrants tonight. I do have those all back. For signing of payrolls, there's been a couple since I've caught you up on those. There were 3 FY26 payrolls, the June 15th, June 29th, and our June 30th to close out the year payroll. And we've had 3 FY27 payrolls so far, the July 13th, the July 27th, and the August 10th payrolls. Mr. Bushman did sign those for me tonight, so thank you very much for that. And that is all I have for finance.
Thank you. School, Stephanie, Mr. Hogan.
No, nothing for me. Thanks.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Tony?
It's still summer. We should be home. But no, thank you for the updates this evening. There are a lot of changes in our schools, obviously, this year, so I'm glad to see everybody's working hard, and you guys look happy with the progress that everybody's making, which is, you're the ones who see it. So I appreciate everyone's hard work. The school grounds do look great. The buildings look good. So thank you to the maintenance staff, custodian staff, for everything they do. And that's it. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
I always come into this first summer meeting excited for looking ahead to the new year, and I'm even more excited tonight after all the updates. There were a lot of chess pieces that moved at the end of the year, and it's just so encouraging and exciting to hear about what we've got going on and lined up for the new school year. So thank you so much for all the hard work from everybody. I'm pumped. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Let's go.
I'm gonna second what Mr. Tinarella said. It is still summer. So I'm a little torn already thinking about school. I can't believe it's happening, but I hope everybody is still home and enjoying their summer and having a safe summer with friends and family. And just because we're already meeting, don't think we're coming back just yet, but everybody is working really hard to get these buildings ready. It is very obvious when you walk into the buildings or if you're on the grounds that a lot of pieces are being taken care of, a lot of things happening. So thank you to everybody that is still working through the summer. And yeah, have fun.
Well, enjoy the rest of the summer, folks. Thank you to the custodial and maintenance staff. They do a hell of a job every year getting the schools together. Thank you for the update. Obviously, the administrative staff is doing a lot over the summer months, and it's terrific to see. And unfortunately, I thought we'd see Dr. Flanagan one more meeting. I hadn't had a chance to thank him. And I've known him, I think, since 2003 when he started out as administrator. He's done a great job in putting this school district together. Obviously, we have great people, coming up to the ranks. And thank him very much. He did yeoman's work on the school, and it shows.
Just want to thank all the administrative staff as well as the custodial staff for all the work that's happening over the summer. We know, as a school committee, we know that a lot goes in, but it's really great to hear some of those details. So thanks for sharing that. And from a custodial staff standpoint, we can see it. It just, the campus looks great. I also want to thank student Wesley Riles for coming in here. He really put himself out there and took that assignment seriously, and it takes a lot of courage to come in front of the school committee and make a request and proposal like that. So thanks to Wesley Riles.
Yeah, I know it's still summer, but we're already getting excited to have people back in our buildings. It gets lonely in these buildings in the summertime. We do miss our students and our staff. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your summer. But we'll see you in a month.
This is the first time I get to talk about going back to school without my wife hitting me, so it's nice. I too want to thank Mr. Riles for coming up. It's never easy getting up and speaking in front of a group of people like this. He did a tremendous job. I don't know if maybe we can have Mr. Ogden connect with him and kind of flesh out some of the details of the pros and cons of that proposal, just to make sure that he knows we took him seriously.
Of course.
Good luck, Mr. Woodlock, in the new superintendent's induction program. I know Dr. Flanagan was very happy with it. I remember his mentor coming in, so I think you'll do extremely well. And echo everybody's thanks for the custodians and admin. A lot of people think it's summertime, it's easy, but we all know how much work goes into keeping these schools running, getting ready for the new year. We do have a need for executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body as declared by the chair. We will return from executive session only to adjourn the regular session meeting. I am seeking a motion to enter into the executive session. This action requires a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? In favor?
In favor?
In favor?
In favor?
In favor?
In favor.
That carries 6-0. Have a good night.